Hey everybody, I'm Tori.
And I'm Nathan.
And we're
Tori and Nathan Travel.
Thanks so much for clicking on this video of what we consider to be the essentials when we pack for any trip.
This is not a comprehensive list by any means, but it's a great start and they're handy items that we've always loved having with us when we travel.
So, let's dive into the video.
So the first category we're going to talk about is toiletries. Most people travel with toiletries, and if you don't know, you're allowed to have at least 3 items that fit in 3-ounce bottles that are liquid. So these are great little containers that you can use to store your soap or your shampoo when you travel. These are great. They're rubberized, so they're flexible and bendy. Then they've got a really nice sealed cap system, so they're not going to leak into your bag. Be really careful buying cheap containers because you'll open your bag one day and you have soap all over your belongings. That is not fun. Get good quality containers.
We ordered these off Amazon, and I think you got 3 for $12.
Yeah.
Versus if you go to like Walmart, you get the plastic ones and they're $1 each, but they leak so bad.
Don't do that. Yeah. The next item I want to talk about is laundry. So you might not think about it, but when you travel, you're going to accumulate dirty clothes, especially if you're only going for, a few days up to a week and you're not planning on washing clothes on the go. You're going to need a laundry bag. We love this laundry bag. It's by Kijkerland, and it's great. It folds up in this tiny little compartment that it has. It's got a little flap on the bag itself that it folds up into, but it can fold out. I forget the exact dimensions, but this holds a whole week's worth of clothes for a single person, no problem. And it's even got some properties to it that help it minimize odor. So when we've used it, it's been great at helping keep dirty, smelly clothes kind of out of sight, out of mind, because you don't notice the smell, you don't see them, and it's a lot easier to take them home or just travel to your next destination with a good laundry bag. These are only like $5, so this is a no-brainer. Secondly, what this is it's a little packet of little dissolvable soap, and so it comes 50 little leaves in one of these containers, and what you can do with these is you can wash clothes in a sink. In a pinch, you can even dissolve a few of them to throw in the washer, in a washing machine.
Yeah.
You can also wash your body with them. They make some for that. So these are a great alternative to taking liquid toiletries with you, and that saves on space too, because look, tiny little container.
But this is specifically the laundry one.
Right, we use this for washing clothes, but they make them for a bunch of different applications, shampoo and soap and everything like that. Lastly, one of the items that I always love to have is a little bit of a medical kit. All right, this isn't a comprehensive first aid kit, but I love to have ibuprofen, so some pain medication, and then basically Benadryl, like an antihistamine. So that way if I've got a runny nose or I've got a little bit of a cold, that'll help just take the edge off of that cold, and I won't be miserable for the whole trip. I also like to have a little package that has some Band-Aids in it. A few different sizes of Band-Aids are great because you never know when you're going to scrape your knee when you're on a hike or you're in another country. You really want to be able to have something like this just handy right in your bag. I also have a small latex tourniquet in here. It's just handy for if you really needed it. It would come in really useful.
All right, so our next category is electronics. So I think the most important thing to have when you're going to another country is going to be this converter for the outlets. And so we got this one off Amazon, and we really like it because it's just a little square cube, and you can slide up different outlet connectors that can fit in any outlet all over the world. And so no matter where we go, we don't have to worry because we got this guy that can fit in any plug, which is great.
Yeah, and another great thing about it is that any plug will plug into it. So it can take anything. Yeah.
And then it's also good to bring a charger for your phone, obviously, but what we really like doing is bringing really long chargers, because you never know, depending at your Airbnb or if you're staying in a hostel, like you never know if an outlet will be right by your bed. And so this is a 10-foot one, and we find that really helpful, just to guarantee that when you're sleeping, your phone can reach you and also the outlet. And then also it can be good to have a backup charger just rolled up small to keep. And then we use a small container like this. This is actually a sunglasses container, but basically just any container. And we use that to store like small electronic gear. So we keep thumb drives and like SD cards and batteries and little things like that in here, so it stays all together in one place.
The third category I want to talk about is kind of just like miscellaneous gear that doesn't really fit into any of the other categories. But number one on that list is a reusable water bottle. So I use the Camelback chute, and it's been great. And so yeah, we both have them. We've been using these for 2 years now. They're so useful for every trip that we go on. for multiple reasons. Number one of which, you never know when you're in a foreign country or you're just not at home. You don't know when the next time you're going to find available water is. You know, especially if you're out hiking or if you're maybe in an area that doesn't have clean water, it's so good to have a supply of your own water. It's also super nice to take on plane trips because you can fill it up once you go through security, and you've got as much water on the plane as you want because they don't come through that often on carts. Secondly, to combo with the water bottles, always have a carabiner clip on, and that's why I love this water bottle, because it has that ability, because you can clip it to your bag on the outside and it's not going to take up space inside your bag. And that's especially useful if you're trying to pack into a small bag or just do carry-ons only like we like to do. It's really good at saving you space. Next is, I recommend to always have a good flashlight with you when you travel. This is actually a little bit pricey of a flashlight. I think I paid about $60 for it. It's a Surefire GX2 Pro. I'll link it down below, but I love this light. I've had it for about 4 years now. It's 200 lumens bright on the bright setting. It's got 2 different settings, but any flashlight does you good. But there's so many situations that you can use a flashlight in, and it's great to have, especially when you're stuck in the dark looking through a bag, or you're trying to find your keys, or trying to get into an Airbnb late at night. This is a really useful tool. The third item in this miscellaneous category would be a camera. This is obviously a GoPro, but it could be any type of camera, because you'll find that one of the most important things about a trip is making those memories, but also saving the memories. You want to be able to look back 10, 20, 30 years later and remember this trip. And if you're like me, your memory is not even good after a few years, and you start to forget details and, you know, just general things. Especially, it's so nice to be able to show your kids someday, or your grandkids, you know. This is the best thing you can do to make memories about your trip and have great pictures and great video and just, you know, great memories.
Okay, so as far as packing goes, it's essential, we find, that you have a good backpack for sure. And it just depends if you like traveling with a suitcase or with a backpack. But we love traveling with just carry-on, so a good backpack is essential for us. And to fill that backpack, we find that one of the best ways to stay organized is to use packing cubes. So we love packing cubes. So far, our favorite brand that we've tried is Eagle Creek. And these ones are really nice because they're collapsible, so they expand, and then you can tighten them and they collapse to be extra thin when they fit in your bag. But we fit so many clothes in these packing cubes. And they make all different sizes. So this is like an example of their extra large, and this is like medium size. And then they even make packing cubes all the way down to like small ones. And then another kind of hack, I guess, that we found is to get these little clips. They're called S-Biner clips. Basically, they just open from either side. And instead of doing a padlock on our backpacks to hold the zippers together, we just like to use these. And our reasoning for that is that if we're out and about, this is going to hold the zippers together to prevent a pickpocket from coming and just opening it and reaching in and grabbing something. But it doesn't look like like a padlock, like, oh, they have valuables, you know, they must have a lot of stuff in their backpack or a lot of valuable stuff. And that's personally why we don't like to use a padlock with a key, just because we feel like it looks a little more suspicious. So we love this just because it's an extra barrier to prevent someone from getting in your backpack.
Right. The fifth category I want to talk about is travel documentation and keeping those travel documents safe. So this is a money belt. There's a lot of different brands, a lot of different kinds out there, but I like this one because it's RFID blocking. So if people have scanners, they can't steal your credit card information or your phone signal and different things. It's safe when it's inside the bag. And so you may not need this for everywhere you travel. And if you don't use a lot of cash on your trips, you might be fine. But I've had different trips where on one trip I was the money holder for the team, and so I actually had a couple $1,000s in this belt at all times in cash, and so obviously I did not want that in my back pocket. I don't think it's a big deal to just have change for your dinner in your front pocket or your back pocket, but if you've got a big amount of money for your trip, keep it in a money belt tucked underneath your clothes. That's the best way to keep it safe. You can also put your cell phone, a wallet, your credit cards, and other things in here, and that's a good thing to do.
And he hit on this a little bit. It might be obvious, but this is the kind you keep under your clothes. It's not like the mom money belt.
You don't wear this like a fanny pack.
A fanny pack, yeah.
It kind of looks like one. It's a really thin one.
It's
but
very
it's underneath
low
your
profile
clothes.
under.
Yeah. This may be really obvious, but you always need to have a passport when you travel.
That.
Always have a passport if you're trying to go out of country. And to back that up, I would say always have copies of your passport and other important documents. So like I try to always have this with me. It's got a copy of both of our passports, a copy of our licenses, our health insurance cards, things like that. Just identification and good documents to have with you, because if you do lose your passport or get stolen in another country, you can take these, go to an embassy, and it'd be a lot easier. So try to put this in a hidden compartment in your backpack or somewhere separate inside your clothes. Don't have it in the same exact place as your passport, because then if you lose that or get stolen, then this gets stolen or lost as well, and that just defeated the whole purpose. So, like we said, this is not an exhaustive list. There's tons of other things that could be really useful for you while you travel, and could be useful for us too. We just haven't figured it out yet. If you have any ideas of things that we didn't mention, please go comment those, because we might want to get them.
If you want to purchase any of these items, then check the links, because we'll link it all in the description box. Yeah, go subscribe. We'd love to have you join our community. I'd love to see you around. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.
Bye.